Hello, good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, Why FP&A Still Hurts and What You Can Do About It. I'm Abdul Rahman. I'm excited to be your host today as we dive into one of the most pressing challenges facing finance teams across the globe. Before we begin, let me quickly address the logistics. This session is being recorded and we'll have a Q&A segment at the end. So please feel free to submit your questions throughout the presentation using the chat function. Let me start with a question that I'm sure will resonate with many of you. How many of you have experienced the sinking feeling when Excel crashes just before a critical budget deadline, or spent hours tracking down why your consolidated budget numbers don't match with your departmental budgets? If you're nodding along, you're definitely not alone. So today's webinar, we address the elephant in the room, the most finance professionals know all too well. Our FP&A processes are often more painful than they need to be. So today I have some very important guests, Alex, Maria, and Oleg. Alex has significant experience in solution architect. He's a Power BI lead. He has worked across different geographies from Europe to Asia in different industries, brings immense practical experience. And our next guest is Maria. Maria is also a solution architect, FP&A expert, worked in Europe and in Asia with different industries in the FP&A domain. And Oleg is a CPM expert. And Abdul Rahman, I'm your host, and I am a partner with Al Accounting Advisory Solutions. I have worked with the Big Four in the past in different capacities, so I understand what keeps the CFOs and finance controllers up all night when it's about FP&A and budgeting. So what we will cover today. First, we'll examine the most common budget challenges teams face today. Second, we will explore how these challenges manifest differently across organizations. Third, we'll move from problems to solutions and see a live demonstration of how the right platform can transform these pain points to competitive advantage. And in this region and geographically, there are three to four categories of company when it comes about FP&A. One, they simply use Excel for their budgeting, planning, and FP&A. Second, companies using ERP, but end up using Excel for their final FP&A analysis. Third, a lot of companies have their in-house softwares developed for FP&A, some tools with some dashboarding, but again, they are redundant, they are not flexible. And fourth, some companies, very few companies are using smart softwares, which are actually helping them to change their FP&A journey altogether. So before I go to Maria, there is a small survey which I would just like you to answer quickly before we start the session, which you can see on your screen. Right, so if you have done voting, I think still some need to vote. Can you please do this quick survey? Right. Thank you. So, hello, Maria. Good morning.
Hello, Abdul. Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Really glad to be
Pleasure
here.
is mine. Thank you for coming here and speaking to our audience. And we are expecting a lot from you today.
Yeah.
So I'll go to the elephant in the room, Maria. Okay. We know that companies often face the problem that budget process is not built in a single environment. There are tens or hundreds of Excel files. What is more, there is no clear workflow process, no accounting of deadlines. Budget versions can be lost. If you ask a department, they will say, oh, version number 10th of the budget, right? So for example, if the budget approval takes several weeks or months sometimes due to the need for approvals from various departments, it can delay the launch of new projects, could have loss of revenue as well. What could be a solution to these kind of problems?
Yes, yes. So that's a very good question. So let's talk about several problems that companies may face during the budgeting process and how it can be solved during using our multidimensional analytical model. And now I would like to share my screen. So let me start a demonstration. So can you see my screen? Does it work well?
Yes.
Abdul, perfect, perfect. So let's now move to our Alplanir platform. So when we talk about user collaboration and planning the budgeting process, it's initial to start by building a timeline using a Gantt chart. And let's move to this dashboard. So as we can see, the platform offers a clear visualization tools to the workflow process for the both planned and actual dates. So next, users create financial budgets. And the approval process takes place. So approval happens in the real time, so we can move our tasks forward and backwards while leaving our comments. So that's all about team and cost efficiency. So we work in a single platform with a flexible process scaling capabilities. When we'll talk a lot today about flexibility of the platform, which enables not only to develop a budgeting model for your individual budgeting process, but also enable to consistently automate different business units, as we can see here. So this ensure integrated business planning. So what do you think, Abdul, about it?
No, that's good. Thank you, Maria. I think this is a good start addressing the problem. My second question is, budget formation, when you said budget formation, the budget campaigns consume too much time and energy, too much manual work during budget. When market conditions change, such as, increase in raw material prices or any market dynamics, when the CFO and the CEO wants to see a revised budget, the team takes so much time, for this critical task for any such change. Is there a solution for that, Maria?
Yes, of course. So that's a very good point. Talking about it, our platform, Alplanir, offers instant budget recalculation. For example, when we're forming a bottom-up budget, I first will go to the dashboard for key account managers. So what can we see here? That's a selling cost planning. So I can change or add more values to the sale. So I can set my budget, my items for the next year. And after that, then as a commercial director, I access the overall picture and I can make adjustments. So as we can see here, I can open any months, for example, February or March, and I can add more numbers, more values to plan my costs. And after that, as we can see, the budget for commercial expenses immediately have been updated to reflect the changes made. So moreover, what is more, during the planning process, I can manage data flows. So specifically, I can choose which values I want to capture for the budget formation. And here, let me show you an example of procurement planning. So here we can see a drop-down menu. So that offers the option to see, for example, auto calculation or imported data, or select manual input as a priority. As we can see, we also highlight the selected values through the conditional formatting. And below here, we can see a plan in Dynamics to access how manual input of my parameters, of my values in 1 month can affect the entire year. So what do we have as a result? The decision makers are more focused on strategic work. So this, as our business users stay focused on our core function, not manual data recalculation. So Abdul, is it relevant to you?
Yes, very much relevant. And the best thing is, it gives a look and feel of an Excel, but it's not an Excel, that's the beauty. Other
I do
challenge
have a
what we
question
face.
here.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I think we all know that the budgeting process can be, can turn into a bit of a battlefield, if you like, especially when using Excel. And mainly because different budgets lives in different Excel files. Those files are flying all over emails. Some people are working in outdated versions, formulas breaking, and you name it. The big question is like, how does your platform, Alplanir platform, can actually solve this? What makes it, like fundamentally better than not just sophisticated spreadsheet with some filtering options and just dashboards? So
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
that's the question.
Thank you, Oleg. So, of course, I know this pain. So let's talk about manual entry and mistakes. So let me show some examples. So for sure, some data may come through imports from other system, not only manual entry. So to ensure that all data flow needs are met, we offer the ability to configure data mapping. So right now, right here, we can see this an example of loading accounting report items from the accounting system for subsequent budget execution control. So what is more, we can set up error alarms. And these error alarms could be set during the import process or at any other step. So we can also provide users with description of errors or different warnings as an example, and offer the option to filter only errors so they can be addressed. So this is what we call transparency because we identify each step in the data flow. So it can impose the necessary verification condition on it. So it gives centralized master data and mapping and no more endless fixing and disappearing different items.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Maria.
that's it, really.
Maria, other challenge what we see, like what if analysis. Excel has limitations, and we trying to give those complex formulas in Excel and of what if is a nightmare. Is there a solution for what if analysis and sensitive analysis?
Yes, very good question. Let me showcase capabilities to solve this. So when we talk about what if analysis, it's much easier to build it using our platform. So here, when we work with established reports, we can enter values and model different scenarios. And this is what Power Pivot or Power Query can't even provide. So let me start talking about scenario analysis by firstly to show you, for example, the focused version. And the focused version based on actual data. So on this dashboard, we can see an example of constructing a focused version of the budget, considering actual expenses by expense categories, as we can see right here. In this example, we work with balances by cost items. So what we can do here, we can carry them over for the following months, or we can redistribute unspent balances across cost items, or we can add budget overruns if necessary.
And is it actually possible to build a forecast version using maybe AI?
Oh, that's a perfect question. AI tools is a part of Alplanir product family. So yes, we use algorithm approach to unlock data-driven values. So it utilizes machine learning and optimization algorithm to address diverse business needs. So that means that machine learning, or as we call it, ML, equips AI with tools to learn and evolve. And here I could say that the primary goal of our AI tool is to automate data algorithm forecasting and decision-making process. Here we also have a detailed presentation about this, so we can dive into details, but unfortunately outside of our webinar timing.
I think we'll have a separate session for that, Maria. Thank you.
Yeah.
I also would like to add that additionally, we can create any numbers of scenarios for our budget. For instance, let's move on to the scenario analysis dashboard. So this simple example shows how we can evaluate the impact on key items of financial budget by changes, for example, these sale parameters and other factors as well. Moreover, we can immediately compare one scenario to another. So let's try this function. For example, we can change these percentages for the second scenario. As we can see, the second scenario have been recalculated. And after that, I can compare, for example, I would like to choose not the budget scenario, but my focused scenario and compare it to the second one. And as we can see, the difference between scenarios have been updated as well. So that's a flexible scenario planning, yes, and that's we can adjust drivers and inputs it on fly. So here we also have clear impact visualizations, so it's easier to communicate the options to stakeholders, and it's also about time saving, yes. So scenario analysis go from hours, days to minutes. So is it clear? We need to tell more about it, Abdul.
I think that's loud and clear, Maria. I think this is very cool. And one more challenge what I see is how to dive into the details. Lot of tools, whether it's Excel or even some hybrid tools, they don't allow to dive into details. You can just see the output, but we don't know what is the source and where the numbers are coming from. And if it is Excel sheets, multiple Excels being linked, it's a nightmare to go back to the source. Is there a way to quickly go to the source of the front, what we see in the budget?
Yes, that's bringing us to the next point. That's a very good point about diving into details. So here, let me turn to the main annual report. So here we can see the main dashboard for CFO. We can see management report by consolidated budget. And for each metrics, we can launch various forms of detailization, such as drill down by dimension or by formula. So for example, I can choose one metric and I can choose drill down by formula, and I can see how it's been calculated. What is more? We can also create a table with details based on a condition of the selected sale to dive into details. So let's move to division budget. So what we can see here, that's a profit lost for actual and for the plan version. And now I will work with an actual data. So here, for example, I can select a cell and launch the related dashboard that will open a breakdown for the selected expenses items. So here I can see the detailization for the cost center. Now we can see that it's only cost center marketing. So if necessary, we can configure the detailed breakdown for transaction, even transaction from our accounting system, for example, using the button. So that's all about transparency and time saving as well. So it's end-to-end transparency. We can see each consolidated numbers, which is how it is been formed.
I want to clarify something. Yeah, in previous example, we just seen a budget of just one company, correct? But what about the consolidated data? If you see, the group CFO faces lots of difficulties in obtaining, a comprehensive view of the financial health of the entire group. So can you please elaborate on this topic?
Yes, thank you, Oleg, for these questions. So yes, that could be a real problem. So for instance, for each subsidiary, if each subsidiary operates with its own accounting or planning system, it
Yeah.
becomes really challenging to access overall profitability, for example, and for cash flow. So our platform Alplanirs here enable to build a group-wide aggregation across legal entities, business units, cost centers, etc. And the main idea that's all including according to your rules and policies. So that's very important. So let's move on to the cost estimate. So we'll start from this screen. So here we can see the cost estimate table. So as well as we can pivot it by analytical dimensions, just like we pivoted in Excel. So let's try. So I can change filters and rows. For example, I will move cost centers to rows and cost items to filters and save the view. And here, as we can see, my tables have been changed. Now I can see each cost centers of the whole group of companies. So I can see here my plants, my main profit center, my head office, and the whole group of company as well. So moving next, so as I said before, the model offers a built-in financial consolidation. There is no need of external tools or manual measuring. And let's move on to the intergroup turnover screen. So here is a dashboard, and here we can see how intergroup turnover budget have been built. So we can access the impact of our cost centers on each budget form. So we can see, for example, profit and loss, cash flow, and budget items on balance sheet. So what is more, we can build the matrix. So here is it's a point about inconsistency. So we understand that we need to compare our companies, the values from our companies. And here is an example of matrix sheet for actual intergroup turnovers, as we call it, chess report. So here is values for intergroup turnovers from, for example, one items, and from another we can compare it. Is it true or false? So that's about a lower business workload peaks, yes, and the smoother resource distribution during focused periods, and we have more time for planning and less for fixing.
Thank you, Maria. Maria, one more challenge what I see, when especially when people are doing budget in Excel, if any of the department head or a VP asked for some information or wanted us to share the budget, I cannot, because it's consolidated, it's complex, sensitive data of other departments, KPIs of other departments. Is there a solution for this kind of problem?
Yes, yes, for sure. Let me showcase the capabilities for this. So the platform here, we ensure the granular access rights. And this means that here we can set up access down to the specific cell. So let's look an example to access to salaries. So for example, depending on the user's login, we would like to give them access to our salaries. And here the platform offers the clear drop-down menu, so we can choose none, read, or write. So what is more, we can build a separate dashboard for each role, as we can see at the main screen. And as a result, we share only what we needed. We keep sensitive data protected. And it's a true multi-user collaboration, so different departments work in the same model simultaneously. So all in all, this allows for smooth scaling for the model by adding different business units and departments with their personal access rights.
Fantastic. That's great. Maria, I think this was really great. These are the quick problems which we have seen, and I think almost all of them are addressed so easily and efficiently. Thank you, Maria. Alex,
Thank you, Abdul.
thank you. Alex, I can see that, you have a lot of experience in these kind of challenges. Would love to hear from your real life challenges you
Right,
face.
absolutely. Hello, everyone, again. Thank you for joining this presentation, and thank you, Maria. Thanks a lot for the interesting cases. I don't have much to add. However, there are still a few pains I'd like to mention. And the next one sometimes is performance if you work with Excel. Maybe you know that when Excel has from 300,000 to 600,000 rows per sheet, especially with formulas, Excel slows down. And when it has 600,000 plus rows per sheet, Excel operates at its limits. Let's look at the example from one of my real projects. Every month or 2 months, a financial manager import fixed asset state from the ERP system or accounting system just to calculate forecast values for book value to receive a forecast balance of P&L for forecast P&L figures. She already has predefined formulas for book value, for example, and for remaining useful life. And it works, approximately like this. Let me select all the numbers over the months and then propagate it through all the fixed assets. And what can we see here? I hope that you can. It's visible. We have a progress bar. It calculates and it even looks like it goes fast. In reality, it will take us 8 or 10 minutes to calculate it, and we will get back to it later. Let's move to Alplanir and just watch the same example. You see, I have the same 600,000 fixed assets here. This is the current state with remaining useful life and book value. And we have all the zeros value for remaining useful life or book value. These are forecast values. Now, I have some formulas, predefined formulas. You can see them in a pop-up window. One and a second one. The same we've just seen in Excel. I'm copying them. Just let's give some seconds to apply this formula. Now they are applied, what we can see. Voila, we calculated all the values of 600,000 fixed assets, 300,000 rows for 12 months. And what I want to mention here, that my laptop is quite powerful. It has 64 gigabytes and 12 CPU threads. Demo server has approximately the same configuration. We don't use very powerful services for our demonstration. You may, of course, object that your company doesn't have so many fixed assets on their balances. But what about inputting accounting transaction for further planning? Or a summary sheet, a reference, 20 individual scenarios like budgets, actual, forecast, especially when using functions like indirect, offset, VLOOKUP, or just multiple links to other workbooks, especially when linked files are closed. Oh, Excel just has not fetched them yet.
Yeah, that's actually fascinating. I do have a question here. Do we have a limit when it comes to the calculation power? Like, can you actually make end-to-end model recalculations with Alplanir?
Thank you, Oleg, for asking. In reality, it only depends on server resources. We conducted stress tests with millions of items in master data and observed no nonlinear degradation under these extreme conditions.
That's interesting. I believe Excel is still calculating, though.
We can check it. We can check it. Yeah, you see?
Yeah, it'll take a while.
I didn't deceive you.
I do have another question. Previously, we've observed that all the, dimensions are managed centrally in Maria's showcase. But does that actually means that if we, let's say, add an element into the dimension, will it automatically apply to all the relevant calculations? Is it a correct statement in general?
Absolutely. Maria has already mentioned about that. You don't need to drag formulas across dozens of cells like in Excel. We've just seen it. You define formulas one per matrix, and if you add a new item to a list, the cells across this list, across this item will be calculated automatically. Yeah, no any manual actions or whatever. Yeah.
Great.
Okay. While I still have these demo Excel files open, I'd like to show you one more common issue with Excel. It occurs when one accidental edit leads to the whole budget fell apart. That can be copy-paste errors, broken links, circular reference, even deleted sheets. All this ruined model without immediate visibility. I want to show you this in Excel. Just an example. You see, while it's calculated, I even can open in another one. So we have what we have. So I'll explain what I wanted. For example, we see these rows. Yeah, as we saw, there are 600,000 rows. Oh, it finished. Finished. I hope it finished. And yeah, and you see how it calculated. Yeah, that's big data in Excel. So sorry guys, we even
is it actually
it's actually, you see, I'm not tricking here anything. That's what I see. Sometimes it calculates this amount of cells. But
we've ran into the same thing when Excel just failed to calculate some numbers. Yeah, that's exactly the same issue here right now.
Yeah. And there is another very interesting issue, yeah, that I really like very much. I mean, and I think that you've encountered it as well. So approximately the same example. Yeah, we have some rows in this example. These are fixed assets. Yeah, and we just sent this Excel file to this financial manager or to IT team to import the current state, yeah, of fixed assets. And someone just copied something, and then this reference shifted during copy paste from external source happened. Yeah, you see there is a blank row here. That means that it shifted. So there is no number here. Yeah, and this row was supposed to be here. That leads to absolutely misleading and wrong calculation here, yeah, later on. And it's very difficult to track these errors in Excel because I don't see it. Yeah, I'm just, you see, I'm scrolling down, and yeah, I just need to focus focus on this row, yeah, to find it or create some controls. So why it happens? Excel just don't natively track who changed what, when, why. Moreover, everyone with access to a file can modify everything. There is no concept of user roles like viewer, editor, or approval, no formal workflow, no way to restore historical data after saving and closing the document. What about Alplanir? Let's have a look. First of all, we have all the records about metadata changing. Metadata, these are list elements, list items. So here I deleted list, or I added element to the list. I change formula. We have account records here. So I see that it's me, yeah, who changed it, when changed it, what formula we had before changing, the formula after. So all the records, again, who, when, and what changed. These are about formulas, items, lists, whatever. We also have, of course, and all the logs about data changing. Yeah, you see the value we changed, the previous value, the next value. We can, of course, undo to the same we need. And unlike in Excel, when, as I already mentioned, we save something in, put something in Excel, saved it, closed it, open it, and yeah, we can't undo it anymore. Of course, it's not an issue for Alplanir. We can just check the changes we need, and we can revert the system to the state, to the initial state, yeah, as we want. So in Alplanir, change logs, user rights, model version, and approvals are built in. And as already mentioned, it doesn't depend on whether the workbook is closed or not. By the way, since I already touched on the topic of data storage and processing, let's move on to the next pressing issue. It's versioning chaos, or I really like this one. That might make you smile, but you all come across. Yeah,
I know.
yeah, yeah.
Can I just add that, I have experienced this, in version controls.
Yeah. You've all, I think, saw the Excel workbooks with tabs like this. We have actual old, but the budget 2025 new 2. I don't know if new 3 exists, but okay. Forecast Q2 or even Q3 or budget version 5 final new. Sometimes that can be again a new 2. Yeah. Sure, you can version this way, and many people do. But once your budget becomes more than just a simple P&L and starts including forecasted balance sheet, cash flow, CapEx, functional budgets, budget for multiple entities, each of which includes all above, it's unlikely that you will want to keep everything in a single workbook. That's when file names like actual old XLS, budget 2025 XLS, and so on and so forth will appear. Some of these files are stored locally on a financial manager computer. Often these files are not connected with each other. Why? Because updating leaks for every new planning cycle is a pain. Yeah? And here's a concept of how Alplanir stores data by version. So first of all, we can maintain as many versions as we need. Here, this is a standard version. It stores actual data, and I added 4 extra versions. And this is quite an example how our model keeps data in the model in Alplanir. Let's have a look. So this first version for all the functional budgets and for all final budgets contain plan for year 25. So we created it, I don't know, a year ago, somewhere in July 2024, when we had actual still July, some forecast data, and budget. We created it. We still need this data, this budget data, planning data, to compare with our current performance. And this version, for example, is our current one. We have actual still, in this case, it's May 2025. Some forecast data, it can be initial plan data, or we've recalculated according to our drive model, or I know some other rules. And maybe, it's not necessarily, we've already planned and created a budget for 2026. But let's focus on the current year. So now we can compare initial data with actuals, with our performance till May, and some forecasts, if we changed it. We, of course, can roll it forward, or we can use another version. You see, in this version, for all, it's I want to select it for all the budgets in the system. Now we have actuals till June 25. forecast for 5 months. And again, the budget is stored unchanged, or maybe we changed, even budget for next year. It depends on our business processes. Let's imagine that we want to keep this version, this data for further analysis, to compare, just to be aware of our performance in the past. We see the fourth version. Again, we created it, I don't know, in November, October 24. We have this switchover. Let's just imagine that in November 2025, we need another reforecast. I'm just changing it to the current year. Now, what happened with the system? Every budget in the system, as we set up, now automatically, without, I don't know, any additional actions, from personnel. Now, actual data copied till October 25. Of course, as Maria said, we need to import it first from accounting system. Then recalculated reforecast according to our formulas or with some manual data. And again, we have our budget for the next year. And now, while versioning, we can compare all these 4 versions. And that's what exactly Maria showed to us. So that's simple. Can you do that in Excel just as easily? I think unlikely.
I don't think that's ever possible to do it in Excel because, well, thanks to the integration, right, and then thanks to the data being in just one single model where everything is happening and everything is, sort of like interconnected as I get it, like drivers, I don't know, like calculations, actuals, just as well that you can spread across the whole year if you need it. And that essentially means that we can, like simulate changes and see how they react on our P&L, for example, or if we do make some, CapEx assumptions, we can actually see and we can assess how it will reflect on our, balance sheet. And that gives us lots of flexibility. Gives us lots of, freedom to explore new business ways and actually, that's one step forward to become a proactive company that can actually, react on some, sudden changes on the market in advance. So
that's how
more
it works. It's
in
general, it's kind of like Excel. You all know, you all we know that you like Excel. But this is a multi-dimensional Excel on steroids. Although many consultants from this area don't like this definition, but this is like it is.
Right. Again, thanks, Alec. Version controls, right? So it's not just about the version A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 300, right? There are business unit wise also there are versions, right? Let's say the operational department send me budget numbers by email, right, to the finance department. And then, we start our compilation process and we come up with the revised budget and we update based on the actuals, based on the latest contracts and POs, and come back with a different budget numbers, what they have originally submitted. And then, what happens sometimes when we have this budget sessions and the operational department, for example, which we said, they get shocked to see a different set of numbers. One, because they have given and forgotten to us. Second, we made changes, we forgot to reply to them. So no one knows what's happening. And then it creates a lot of tensions between departments and people start hating finance, So especially finance is not in good books, we control things. And, so allocations are off, company level KPIs get inaccurate, budget must be redone and reapproved in a short span of time. It's a rush things. This is a problem which we see when we use Excel. Can we have
this problem? This problem is naturally solved in Alplanir because multiple users work within the same environment, using the same data in the same current version, we chose in the system, and this all controlled by the finance team.
So
Sorry.
Yeah. Please keep going.
So as an end department, I can see my part of the budget, right? So I know what is happening there.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've
Thank you.
discussed the success rate. Yeah.
Sorry, Alec, go ahead.
Yeah. As I see, the platform is able to set like a true, single source of truth, because as I see, all the budget and just in general, all the data is stored into the one model. And once again, all the data is mathematically and logically, well, interconnected with each other. That way, you can easily consolidate budgets. You can drill down into them, into some specific line items, and just see and assess from like which elements is being assembled from. And as I see, the platform is actually able to become a digital twin of a company's economy. That's as I see it.
Just to add on to that, Alec, before Alex reply, I was doing this budgeting implementation ERP. We're talking about problems of Excel, but even in accounting systems, ERP systems, I have seen problems. Once you implement, and then the finance team is like, can we have the expanded reference list or drill down features for detailed data? It's never answering the solution. So can you just let us know what are your views?
Yep. Actually, but I hope that we showed it quite clearly that Alplanir is a true self-service platform. The user can configure formulas independently, like I did, without worrying that might impact other models of the system. They can also create new reference lists and add elements to them on their own, whatever they want. So I guess that unfortunately we are running out of time, so I can't show it. But if someone interested, we will definitely show how it is easy to work with the system for a user, for any user who knows Excel quite well.
Probably will have a separate session for that, Alex. In the interest of it's a working day. In the interest of time, I don't want to drag this beyond the scheduled time. It will be good if you can give back some time to the participants. They'll be happy. Anything else from Maria or Alec before I go to the questions I have received when people were registering to the webinar here? All right, so let me just see what's the first question. Straight goes to the true finance person has asked this question. How much does your system cost and how we can contact you? So I think you can contact either me or Alfia for any system related queries. And from the costing perspective, I think it is again depending on the size of organization, number of users. But again, let me tell you one thing, it is very cost efficient and you'll be easily able to get an approval from your board, from your executive management. That I can guarantee. Second question is, in which cases your systems couldn't help us? I think that is strange. In FP&A domain, Alex.
That's a fair question. Why we want to be honest here that we personally think that this system is perfect for forecasts, for planning, for budgeting, HR functions, managerial accounting, a lot of stuff. But it doesn't work with accounting or tax or some, I don't know, daily treasure operations. These functionality is, I don't know, you should implement in ERP. So this system, this class of system is created for a little bit different things. So it's not a universal system. And let's be clear here.
It's pure FP&A, and under FP&A, I think the system can resolve almost all the issues. Cool. And the third question is, what organization size is your system designed for?
We have clients with hundreds of users, and we also have those with just 2 or 3 users. And implementing the system helps them avoid hiring additional staff. So yeah, from 2-3 users till several hundreds. So very scalable system and of course very flexible license policies.
Fantastic. Yeah. So you're saying from a team of 2 or 3 to a multinational with hundreds of employees can use this with different subsidiaries, organizations that geographically all can use it, right?
Right.
Fantastic. Right? Okay. The favorite question, how it is compatible with Excel compatibility. We don't want to give up Excel as accountants, okay?
We know how financial management like Excel. Of course, we know it. And let's be honest here, we love them too for some tasks. Alplanir has I would say, there are no problems to export or import from Excel any data at all. So what we do, what we can do, and again, if someone interested, we can show it in the next webinars. We import data, change it, one button, change data, and do a drag and drop to import it back. Sorry, export data, change, and import it back. And that's so easy. It takes just, I don't know, from several seconds to several minutes to change something. If you prefer the interface of Excel, it's okay. We can understand it. Just import it, the same sheet, the same way how you looked when Maria showed you this pivoting, list of dimensions, change data and get it back. So you have all the data updated.
All right, that's fantastic. So it's fully compatible with Excel, and I think that answers the question. And optimizing cost and FM, I think finance manager contribution to company success. See, let me take this. Like I have seen environments where people are struggling with Excel. 10 people are working on a small budget because there are version controls, sleepless nights. So I think, and also conflicts with other departments because of version issues, because of, like misunderstanding, lack of communication. So I think all these things will definitely, avoiding all these issues will definitely raise the image of finance department as a value add rather than just in collector of data or aggregator of data. So, and then you will have a quick response to any of your management queries. You need not ask them for 2 days or 3 days to come back with a scenario. You can quickly go back immediately so that it, imagine a situation, there is a board meeting happening and your CFO says, can you quickly give me a scenario of what happens if sales increases by 2%, Imagine if you can give him a message in response in 2 minutes. Imagine the, like the image of finance department. It will be a game changer definitely if you have a smart system like Alplanir supporting you, and also it is compatible with AI as the future is moving forward. So is AI. So we can always have AI related features, and we can take advantage of AI as well for uh, for the business and optimizing costs definitely, right? So when you have efficiencies, that gives cost benefit. So and plus it is a very cost efficient system compared to other systems what I have seen in the market. All right, I hope this answers the question. Sixth, how can statisticians shift from budget campaign roles to actively managing financial outcomes?
I think I can take this question. That's a good question, though, and it really splits into two halves, I think. The first one is, well, it's kind of hard to put it in just a single thought, but you see, it comes down to management style of a company. Because if you give some responsibility to those who are underlying the financial director and let them take decisions that are related to their KPIs and related to the KPI of the whole company, you can actually, just shift from being reactive to proactive. And of course, CPM platform can actually support you into getting into that phase, because once again, the system, the CPM platforms give you lots of flexibility. You can perform lots of different scenario analysis. You can actually see all the data. You can set single source of truth within your company. And
Right.
if you let your employees independently decide like the price of I don't know, some deals, some discounts. And while everything can be, for example, under control of commercial director, you can be just more, you can freely take on different decisions. You can essentially, you just become more flexible. And that is the concept of business management, more than just like how the CPM platform can support this. It's more of a concept and realization concept, like integrated business planning. It's not something that the platform does for you. It's just something that the platform can support you to do, and to do it the most efficient way. That's it.
Thanks, Oleg. I think that was answered fantastically. One question is, I would love to see some example use case for real estate industry, developers, facilities managers, etc. I think in the interest of time, we can have a separate session for any industry specific requirement. We can have a demo as well. And also it will be good to understand the real nature of business so that we can tailor our demo for that thing. Please contact me or Alfia for that. And just few questions from the audience. One is, can this platform integrated with other ERP systems?
Okay, I can take these questions. Yeah, for sure. And I think that we will do it in every project. So we have a
Right.
lot of different protocols, yeah, to connect to the ERP systems. This is not a technical sessions, but for those who are interested in saying, so we can use, we have connectors to all the databases, yeah, well, all the popular databases like MySQL, Postgres, or whatever. So connection is native. We have connections via web services, via OData, of course, via just flat files. So everything you need, we already have. So it's difficult to invent something new, yeah, just to connect and receive data from external ERP system.
Right. Thanks, Alex. I think one question is imprinting data and cleaning the data. Importing the data and cleaning the data, data cleansing. I think this is what the question is about. When you import the data from the system, I think this generally applies to global companies which has global subsidiaries where the master data is not in the same format or data is not clean. So is there a way we can have a data cleansing and aligning the mapping and all that?
Yes, and I think that Maria, when she showed her part, she showed it perfectly, yeah, that we have all these logs, errors, that something is wrong, that you need to clean this, that we can't recognize this item or whatever. So we, in every project, when we input data from some external source, of course, just for user, not there for technical specialists, they can see, yeah, if something wrong with data, so they can fix it if they can. So, or if there is something wrong what they can fix, they, of course, they can discuss it with technical specialists who is responsible, yeah, for integration.
Thanks, Alex. I think that's the questions we have. If anyone else doesn't have a question, okay, I think one last question we received is, if you want to add any previous year, in the budget, can we add it, the historic data?
No problem. So we have several minutes. I think that I can share my screen. Just one moment. Yeah, one moment. Hope I not closed it. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. It's very easy. We have a special dimension. It's a time dimension, and we have calendar options. Here
And
we
we can have
set
comparison, right? Yeah.
Yes. We have a setup how many years we need in our system. For example, one past year, one future years, and that means that we have one current year. So if we add here 2 past years, our time scale will contain 2 past years. And of course, we can compare and have data. If we need 3 years, 3 years. Moreover, this time dimension is very flexible. we can set up subsets of this time. Sometimes we can use only current year or current year with the previous months or the whole year or whatever we need. And you can, in a flexible way, use any of these month subset in your model. Or this is an example of month detailization. You can use daily detailization, yearly detailization. So a lot of stuff to discuss.
All right. The last two questions, I think then we can wrap it up. And if audience, if you have more questions, please send it across. We will definitely reach out and answer to you. I think Maria has shown the question is, flagging duplicate entries, missing data, or high risk areas. The system does that. I remember you showed that. Can you just re-show us to the audience, how the system flags issues and errors and not regular data, something which it picks up red flags.
I can also elaborate really quickly. Like the CPM platform, its mission and its goal is just to reduce any kind of human factor when it comes to calculating things. Its mission is to not let you to make any mistake. Yes, I believe this platform can actually highlight errors and things. Yeah, let's just Maria to show us.
Thanks for that.
Yes, let's show this part one more time. So when we are talking about showing errors, we should go back to this import dashboard, and as I have answered already, we can use formal logic right here, and I can dive into this table, and we can see the description. So here is a formula. So we just use intuitive logic using if then else, and we write the rule. So if the rule is okay, so that's not error, no error alert at all. Or we can add any error description. So we can just also add any colors to just clarify if it's okay with our data.
So I think our guests are also asking about how we can handle it if we provide the wrong data to input.
Okay, so
that's a great question. So Maria, maybe you want to answer about controls, how we can create the controls on the budget system, or please answer and I'll add later.
Yeah, there is this example is that we see the error description, there is no data of product name. So if I just add the product name, so there will be not an error. Or you can add more examples, please. Welcome.
Yeah, I do have a question here. So you can set a rule to not to go over the budget limit. For example, if you're doing top-down budget planning and you set like, I don't know, like $50,000 for a year for some specific department, and that $50,000 should be split in four parts across the year. And if you go out of the limit on some specific line item, will the platform actually highlight that you're about to reach your limit for 3 months of your budget?
Moreover, during the projects, for finance projects, we usually implement some financial controls. Yeah, if, for example, we create a forecast balance sheet, we need to have assets equal to obligations. And if they are not equal, so you have special dashboards that they are not equal. Yeah. Or if we take, for example, current revenue and we need to bring it to balance sheet again, yeah, that's either link, or if there is some mismatch, you have another dashboard that you have this mismatch. With all the formulas with the client, we discuss all these controls, and separately, maybe on the main dashboard, we see what is wrong about data. Yeah, that's a red flag. Yeah, that's something wrong. And then you have this drill down and detailization. Yeah, that can help you to find where you have wrong data, where you put down wrong data in the system.
All right. That's super
cool.
So
that's how you reach that level of transparency using the CPM platform. Yeah, that's actually great.
And reliance on the system, right? It's able to even highlight the odd ones out. And I think last question is the data format when we are uploading data to Alplanir. So or do we need to have it in Alplanir format, or how does it work? If it is quick, we can respond now.
Yeah, very quick. Alplanir has all these the same so-called primitive types like integer, string, text, so it recognizes and date. And it has their special types like lists, because lists contain certain items, yeah? But we convert from text. For example, external system, let's say it has a client, yeah? I don't know, the client's name is flower, yeah? It's a text. And then we recognize, yeah, this list item in the system, and it understands and it puts data across this certain line. This is just a special technique in Alplanir.
Oh, that's super cool.
Can you actually drag and drop Excel files in there?
Sure, yeah, I already mentioned it. So it's very simple. So you just import file, change data, and upload it back. And Excel understands it. Yeah, it has all the mappings to the rows, to the columns, to the cells. Alplanir understands where and what you change and just update it. And you see new data and when all the budgets are recalculated.
Great, great.
Right. So I think we have reached to the end, and we answered almost all the questions. I hope everyone is taking something back home. And please let us know when you want a demo for your specific company, or you want a pilot based on your base case. You want to see a demo based on your industry specific base case. We'll be happy to do that for you. And you can reach out to any of us. So thank you, Maria. Thank you, Alec. Thanks, Alex. And thanks, Neta, for being the moderator of the slides. And there's a small survey. Can you please quickly respond to the survey so that we can have more efficient and more fruitful discussions in the future based on your inputs? It will be really helpful. And thank you so much. Have a great day and nice weekend for people in not in UAE, other than UAE.
Thank you, everyone, for coming. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Yep. Thanks, everybody.